Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to answer some of the questions that you submitted on Instagram and hopefully enlighten you to more of my background, what we do at Spirit Daughter, the products we offer, and just astrology in general. So let's start with some questions. You guys submitted quite a few, so I'm going to answer about 10 or 12. And then I'm going to do these Q&A videos periodically to give you guys a foundation. I know a lot of you are new here and just to get to your questions. So if you don't get your question answered today, know that I might get to it in the future and keep submitting. Okay, this one is from Meow Andrea. What is the best book for somebody who's trying to get into astrology? I always recommend the only astrology book you'll ever need. And I have that as well as some other recommendations on my website on the About Jill page. And I'll put the link for that down below so that you can view those. There's also some apps and things like that. I also recommend the New Moon Workbook for people who are really learning. I like to learn astrology sort of in bite-sized pieces. And so those workbooks will really give you the chance to master the energy and learn it piece by piece and really work with one energy at a time throughout a month. So you can really understand it and create a foundation for the rest of your learning. Okay, so moving on, this is from Asan0207. Do you sell crystals? Yes, we do. We sell crystal kits that match the workbook of the season. So right now we have like Sagittarius crystal kits up there. We also have some back crystal kits from seasons past. We'll also be adding some crystals here in the future, hopefully a few in time for the holidays, but definitely some more around February and March. So some larger pieces, including a little labradorite, because I know you guys really like that. So look out for those. Okay, this one is from Kate Folly. For the next full moon is in Cancer, pre-holidays. What do you think about that? I have a lot of thoughts about that. They're all in the full moon workbook in Cancer, which is coming out this Sunday, so you'll be able to purchase that. The next four full moons are really interesting because they fall on the start of the season. So we get this opportunity to release through the full moon right before we begin the next sun season. So, you know, this full moon in Cancer is coming at the perfect time, mid-holidays, right after the start of Capricorn and the winter solstice. So it'll really be a time to kind of dive within, provide ourselves some self-care and some nourishment, really restore ourselves before we step into 2019. This one is from Ria.Re. How did you learn so much about astrology? I started studying astrology when I was 16. I'm 39 now, so I have some years under my belt with it. I started studying before online, before the internet, so I would just sort of stumble into different bookstores and luckily found some women who were willing to mentor me on the craft. And then really just observing, right? So really just studying and following it for many years, learning the natal charts of my friends, of any boyfriend I dated, understanding the collective astrology as well. So, paying attention when the sun shifted signs and when the moon shifted signs and just correlating, what was going on around me with the people around me with what was happening in the cosmos. So really just time and observation. Okay, this one is from Mel Med. How can we learn more about crystals and what books do you recommend? I really recommend Energy Muse. So head over to their page or their site. They have a lovely book called Crystal Muse, which is absolutely fascinating. And they're a really great resource to learn about pretty much every crystal. We have a few crystals and descriptions on the site, and each workbook provides descriptions of crystals for that season. But if you want to learn outside of that space, then head over to Energy Muse and sort of get the full download. Okay, this one is for Lindsay.Lee49. Is it true that someone would feel a full or new moon more intensely if it falls in their personal moon sign? Yes. So the moon travels through all 12 zodiacs every month. So each month we have what's called a moon return, which is when the moon returns to the position where it is in our natal chart when we were born. And so when that happens, the moon rules our emotional body. We feel our emotions more intensely, and we have access to our emotional body to a greater degree. We also can understand what we need, right, to feel fulfilled and to feel aligned in our life. And when that moon return happens to fall or a new or full moon, we'll feel the effects of the new or full moon to a greater degree. We all feel them, but if it happens within your personal moon sign, you sort of get an extra dose of magic. Okay, this one is for Lauren Cicero. How do you get all the details from the moon books? There's so much powerful info. Thank you. Really, it's just through observation, through my own personal practices. So since I have been working with astrology for so long, a lot of the stuff from the moon books comes from my own time spent journaling, I do a morning ritual every morning. I do a ritual new moon and full moon. So, I've been doing these for years, and I really pull from my personal experiences and my experiments with my own energy and just seeing what works for me, what didn't work. And then I pass that knowledge on to you through the moon books. Okay, this one is for Amaline Elizabeth. Is anything decided, or if you have aspects that are more challenging, can you move past it? No, nothing is decided. So I believe that we have free will, right? I'm not one of those astrologers that gets caught up in predictions or sort of gypsy fortune telling type stuff, right? We have free will. The energy presented to us through the cosmos are just opportunities, right? And we have the choice to tap into them or not. And when we feel friction, in ourselves, because of our chart or because of the collective energy, it's just an opportunity to grow, right? And when you're dealing with something like squares, we'll get to squares in the next couple of videos, but they're an aspect that can feel frustrating. And they're just opportunities to move past that frustration and to understand the origin of it, right? And really get to the root of it, so that we can, clear out blocks and limiting beliefs within ourselves and ultimately grow into our highest potential. So if you have a square aspect in your chart, know that you're not doomed or anything like that. It's just an opportunity to work with the energy. And we will be getting into those, for instance, like a last quarter moon, first quarter moon, it's a square, right? So that's when the moon is squaring the sun. It gives us that, and sometimes that last quarter, first quarter energy can feel frustrating to us. And it's just an invitation to kind of dive into the signs, dive into the energy and see, what the origin is and why we may feel so frustrated, right? What is blocking us. Okay, this is for Arias Renata. What does it mean when you say, for example, we're in a Scorpio season? So the sun spends about 4 weeks to 30 days within a zodiac sign. And so that is the sun season. So right now we're in Sagittarius sun season. And every sun season has a corresponding new moon, right? So that's why the new moon workbooks are for both the season and the new moon, right? So for Sagittarius sun season, the new moon will also be in Sagittarius. Capricorn sun season, the new moon will be in Capricorn. All right, so that's the energy. So we're feeling it throughout the entire sun season, and then on the new moon, the energy really culminates because both moon and sun are in the same sign. Right, so we really feel it, and we really have access to work with it. Okay, this one is for Danielle F. Please explain the workbooks. I'm new to your page and I'm really curious about the workbooks. So the workbooks take you on a journey of exploration of yourself, of the astrological energy involved in that particular moon or that sun season, and really teaches you how to harness that energy to work with your own personal energy, right? So each sun season, each new moon, each full moon present us with certain themes, right, that we can work with and we can get to the root of. For instance, Sagittarius is all about expansion, right? So that workbook is about how do you feel about adventure? How do you feel about expansion? Like, what is blocking your expansion? And really the aim is, especially on the new moon, is to dive into our subconscious and see if there's like blocks we don't even know about that might be preventing our expansion, for instance. And the workbooks, they provide practices, meditations, yoga, yoga, all to help align with that energy so that you can use it, you know, through journaling prompts, intention setting, and affirmations. And really my intention is to help you and empower you to build your best life and give you the confidence to understand that, you know, you can attract any energy that you want into your life. And yes, it takes some work. Yes, you have to break down your barriers, but really the sky is the limit. There's no dream too big. And, you know, working with the workbooks, right, you do the work to build a foundation to build your life, right? So they're really about helping you manifest your dreams. Okay, last one. This one's for Sarah Stretch 28. Can Mercury retrograde affect the communication within my romantic relationship? Yes. So Mercury retrograde affects the communication of any relationship, including a relationship with technology. So, you know, just be aware of that. And when you are communicating, especially with an intimate partner, like give space to hear your own thoughts and to hear theirs as well, right? So listening really comes up for us during Mercury retrograde. So spend time listening to yourself, get clear, and then listen to the other person. Venus retrograde affects relationships specifically to a greater degree, and I'll be getting into that, you know, probably at some point here. We just passed Venus retrograde, but that's the one that really affects the relationship. But you know, we can get past it. Again, it's just about aligning with yourself. So just spend more time, you know, getting into your own communication before you exchange energy with others. All right, so that concludes this video. I'll get back to some more of these questions in later videos. Next week, we'll be going over natal charts and just explaining to you that you really are every sign. So our natal chart is comprised of 12 houses, and I'll be going through all the houses and just showing you how even if you're not a Gemini or even if you're not a Sagittarius, right, you have that energy within you and it's affecting a certain area of your life, right? So that will be next Thursday. And if you like these videos, please subscribe. You know, we're building this channel and hopefully as a gateway to give you more knowledge. So enjoy the energy this week, and I'll talk to you next Thursday.